The first 6 months of my move to Houston was awful because I felt like, God, you knew I was in the city alone. Why now? I had $17,000 in partnerships that were now like on hold. I had to talk about this part because I feel like this is the testimony. This is where God showed up for me. To anyone who might be going through a hard time or just feel like, God, where are you? Welcome and welcome back to what I've been calling my moving testimony, a series of how God showed up for me from moving from New York City to Houston, Texas. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how a week into my move, my Instagram account got hacked as a full-time creator, with that being my largest platform. Now, even though this happened a year ago, it's still very much a sore spot for me because the residuals of it still affect me to this day. And so it took me a while to record this video just because I was a bit like bitter about it. I just didn't really understand why it happened to me, but it feels like there's a gap in my content. And I also feel like because I did get my account back eventually, thank God, there is a story that has to be told, because if not, it would have happened for nothing. Like all of this and getting my account back and getting back on my feet would have happened for nothing. So grab a seat, grab some popcorn. This is part 2 of my moving testimony series. Okay, so where we left off in the last video was that all was well. I made the move from New York to Houston. I didn't pay anything for it apart from my flight. I got there, I felt like God was on my side. Things were going beautifully. I walked into my new apartment, loved my new apartment, was sharing that journey on Instagram specifically and on YouTube. I believe I have a YouTube video talking about it too. And it was just a good time. It was an exciting time. I remember this song, Me and You by Tems came out, and I really felt like that was a dedication to like where I was with God in that moment. Literally, it was really just me and him. Like I didn't have anyone else. I didn't move with anyone else. And like this chapter was all about that. So listening to that song always reminds me of that time. Yeah, all was well. I was shopping, I was getting all of my things. And then one day I had someone come in from TaskRabbit to mount my TV. And they were taking forever. They were taking ultra long. And I was by myself. I was by myself in the apartment. So I was being attentive to the guy who was putting up my TV. And at the same time, my friend, the only friend that I had here at the time, she was coming in to bring me some furniture. I think something I had ordered from IKEA, she had picked it up for me. Like I was trying to pay attention to my phone and to the person in my house at the same time. And I had got a notification that someone was trying to get into my Instagram account. And this wasn't the first time that this happened to me since I moved. Like I was getting this notification on Instagram, and this time it was via email. Because I wasn't paying attention and was moving quicker than my brain could process, I kind of just like, you know what, let me handle this so I can move on and no one gets into my account. And literally the opposite happened. So it was definitely a phish email. They had like the Instagram actual account in the CC or the BCC attachment. So it showed up as verified on mobile. It was like the slickest thing that they could have done because it had a check next to it. So I thought it was legitimate. So literally, I'm like, all right, let me just follow their prompts really quick and be done. And in a matter of seconds, my account was taken away. I was with my friend and I'm like, I think my Instagram account just got hacked. And it's so interesting because the mover was done around the same time that that happened. So he like got up and left, but I didn't pay no mind to it because I'm like, I'll be able to get it back. Like I have so many like partners and brand partnerships I work with. There's so many ways to verify that this is my account. So I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, great, like another thing to add while I'm in the midst of moving. My friend left and I was working on like trying to get my account back. I was completely locked out and I was signed out on all of my devices. Like they moved so fast that like I couldn't even retrieve my account on my other devices. A day goes by, 2 days go by, and people are hitting me up like, hey, is your account hacked? I see somebody's posting on stories. Mind you, I'm still freshly moving into my apartment in Houston, trying to like, you know, get my stuff in, get familiar with where I am, like still build myself up while dealing with this. So I'm like, yeah, my account got hacked. I had sent out an email via my newsletter because I had a newsletter called Milk and Honey that I would send out every Sunday. So I just let everyone know like, hey, my account is hacked. Bear with me. I think that this will sort out sooner than later. I was under the impression that this wasn't gonna take longer than 3 days. Am I worried? I'm not worried. Surprisingly enough, I'm not worried. I am getting my account back. Mark my words, I am getting my account back in a matter of days, okay? So after like 3-4 days, I'm like, oh crap, this looks like this is gonna take a while. Mind you, I had people I knew, I had brands that I was working with. I had people I knew that worked at Meta, people who knew people that worked at Meta, people that were working for the government, like that I was cool with through school and were like, fill out this form. Like everybody was trying to help me get my account back because apart from the fact that they knew I was doing this full time, I also had just moved. It was a super sensitive time. Everyone that I was connected to via socials was now stripped from me. I had $17,000 in partnerships that were now like on hold, like we'll just wait until you get your account back and then we can continue with the partnership. But in my mind, I'm like, I need to buy furniture. Like I have to, I have to buy groceries. Like I can't just wait on this. So a week turns into a month turns into a month and a half turns into 2 months. And at this point, I'm like, I'm going through it, honestly. I'm down, I'm feeling depressed. My birthday was in December. This happened November 11th. My birthday was December 8th. I had a series called like Last of My 20s. So like, being in my 30s was supposed to be a new series. I didn't even get to start that because I didn't have my account. So for my birthday, I was like, I don't even want to celebrate my birthday. Like I was going through it. And you have to imagine, like you're in a new city, you don't know anyone. You have all of these places that you plan to go to that you saved on your socials. You had all of these plans for your content that you wanted to do. I'm out of community. I'm out of income. And it's literally just me and God at this point because I'm in Houston. It's not like I can walk many places. Like it's not a walkable city. Even if it has walkable pockets, like it's not a walkable city. So it really started to put me in like a isolated and down place. Like my friend, she would try to hit me up, try to call me, try to come see me. I didn't want to see her because as you know, if you've ever been unemployed, and I was technically unemployed for 4 to 5 months, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything because you don't have the funds. You don't feel like getting dressed. You're not in the mood. You feel like you don't want to be like the negative Nancy of the group. You don't want to spend. So literally I would be in my house for like weeks at a time, like not leave my apartment. It was a very, very testing time. I cried so many tears just because I felt like, God, you knew I was in this city alone. Like you knew I came here alone. Why now? Why would you allow this to happen now? Because I couldn't tell if this was like a test or a trial. But in either case, whether it was like an attack or if it was a test, it was happening. Like it was happening and I was feeling it. I was feeling it from every angle. I still had bills to pay. I still had to eat. I still had things that I needed to buy. I still had to get around. I didn't have a car, so anytime I would have to move, I would have to pay for Uber. I already knew that this was gonna affect me in the future, that I was gonna have to live off credit cards, and whatever was gonna happen from that, I was gonna have to then pay in the future. So a super sensitive time, like super rough. I felt like the one thing that I had going for me was stripped from me. Like I had so many ideas. I told you that like I wanted to change directions with my content. I was excited to do that. And like, some people ask like, why didn't you just start that on your other platforms, like on TikTok and on YouTube? But my thing was like, Instagram was my main platform. Like that was the platform that I grew, that I had the most following. It's also where my money came in from. Like I had the most brand deals on Instagram. So to build that up again when I'm in a new space and like, I'm still trying to resolve this issue, I just wasn't in the headspace for it. I'm not the type of person that when I'm going through something, I want to vocalize it and like share it while it's happening. That can be like a gift and a curse. Some people are really good for that. Me, I rather wait till I get through it and then talk about it because I like dealing with my pain privately. That's just how I am. It may have been to my benefit to share it publicly, but I don't know. It's just something, I guess, something I have to work on or how I am. Like I rather just do things privately. So I didn't want to talk about the hack. I tried making TikTok videos. I tried continuously like making YouTube videos and I couldn't. I literally couldn't. It's even still hard to talk about it now because it was rough. It was so rough. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to talk about this without gliding over the details because I feel like it was a hard moment, so I kind of just want to skip over it, but I have to share this with you because this is part of the testimony. It just felt like my career, my finances, a part of like my purpose and my destiny, my community, everything was literally stripped from me and I had no control. I felt super helpless. So I was praying a lot and it got to a point where I was just frustrated. Like I was just tired. And it was interesting because during that time, within those like 4 to 5 months, I would get continuous dreams about getting my account back. At first, obviously you think about it often because it's like the beginning and you're trying everything, right? Like I'm reaching out to people. I'm trying to get help from Facebook and Meta and they can't help me. I'm even looking at like white glove hackers or white collar hackers and they can't help me. Like I tried everything, literally everything. It was on my mind. Obviously, I'm gonna think about it before I go to bed. I'm gonna think about it. But there came to a point where I just didn't wanna think about it anymore. And I was like, it is what it is. I just gotta start over or move on. But like I would keep getting dreams, different ways every time of how I would get my account back. And I really felt like it was God reminding me like, hold on, like I'm doing something, hold on. But it would hurt me. Like it was frustrating. I don't know if you've ever felt that feeling where like you're trying to forget something because you don't want to remember and you just want to move on, but you keep getting dreams or like memories about it. And it's like almost like a tease. Like I would just rather not even remember anymore. Like I don't want to dream about it. I don't want to know about it. But I got like at least 5 dreams, not even kidding. At least 5 dreams of different ways I would get my account back. And I really felt like God was telling me to hold on. But when you're 4 months in, when it's like it's February and then it's March and you haven't had access to your work, to your community, to your account since November, you're like, I don't think I'm gonna get my account back. Like that's not at the forefront of your mind. I'm like, I feel like this video feels a little all over the place. I was frustrated. I was still praying. I was in my closet praying heavy. I was fasting. I fasted like I think 3 different times. Initially when it happened, in the middle, and then I fasted like one last time. And then I even created a new account because I was like, I need to start over. I need to do something. I need to keep my mind busy. I need to stay creative. Like I can't just allow this to take over me. So I created a different account and I was just creating content on there and people were super supportive. They were sharing my account. Like they were like, this is great. This is gonna be good. And I remember I had one last attempt, my cousin randomly reached out to me and she was like, I know this guy, he gets accounts back. I'm gonna connect you to him. And I'm not really thinking much of it because I'm like, I done tried everything in the book. I tried Meta, I tried Facebook, I tried their support, I tried people who work there, I tried the government. Like literally the door closed and God wanted it to be closed. Like that's what I was getting from it. I'm like, Lord, if you wanted this to open, you would have opened this door because at this point over 10 different people have tried to help me and they can't do anything. And there would be people that would be saying like, I've never seen anything like this. So when I started getting that response, I was like, all right, this has to be God. My cousin connected me to this guy and he was like, yeah, we can get your account back. I'm not thinking anything. I'm like, okay, sure. In the meantime, I'm just like in prayer and trying to understand why this is happening. So I go to Puerto Rico on a family trip because my mom's side of the family is from Puerto Rico. And we went to the beach. And I remember the guy hitting me up, but I wasn't really paying attention to my phone because I was on vacation. And he was like, hey, we were able to recover your account. I need you to put in this password. I wasn't even sure of whether I should believe him or not. My hands were shaking. I was trying to log back into my account and I remember my hands shaking so much because I'm like, there's no way this is true. I've tried this like 1,000 times. Then I'm like, he sounded so confident that I don't know. And I just I had access to my Instagram and I was like, oh my God, like I'm in. Yeah, I ended up getting my account back after 4.5, almost 5 months. And it is a hard thing to talk about because obviously I got through it and I'm on the other side and I'm so grateful. And I wasn't able to get everything back from what I lost financially in contracts, but I was able to get like a good amount and a lot of my contracts back. And to that, I'm grateful. That was a testimony in itself. Like I ended up meeting Drew Barrymore and flying to New York to go to the Drew Barrymore show after my account was hacked because, you know, your analytics and all of that stuff get tanked when you're idle. So I just felt like so much was gonna get affected. And even after that, God was still merciful, but I don't know, it was like the weirdest thing. Felt a little disconnected from my platform afterward and still do to this day. Like I post every now and again, but like that experience changed something. Like I don't know if it was a momentum thing or if it was just like I got hit and I didn't really get back up the same. But it was hard and I still had to deal with the residuals of it to this day because obviously my business account got hacked, so that affected my finances. And so I'm still recouping from all of that. But what I will say is that through all of that and through the feelings that I even still feel now, I know God was with me every step of the way, every single day. Like when I tell you, there was moments that I had absolutely nothing in my account and I was like, I'm out here by myself. Like there's no walking to the deli, walking to the corner store. I had to reach out to friends to help me out because I had nothing. Like literally I had nothing and I didn't know when the next round of something was coming. But I just, I was praying and God was faithful, and there would be moments where I would just like pray for a partnership. And that was like the first time that I would get partnerships from TikTok. So I worked with Hatch, I worked with a few other beauty brands, and like that helped me get through every now and again. I say all of that to say, even through that hard moment that is still even hard to talk about now, God was still there and God was still faithful, because so many things could have went left. Like I'm here in a new city alone. I was able to pay my rent. I was able to eat. Even if at moments when I didn't know when or how I was gonna eat, it got figured out. God was so faithful. There would be times that I would be getting in an Uber to like go get groceries and someone would just minister to me. Like they would just talk to me and they'll be like, I don't know, but I feel like God is telling me to tell you X, Y, and Z. And I'd be like, thank you so much. And I would come upstairs and start crying. Like, I think when we go through hard things, we go through let me say this. When we go through transition, we fantasize and dream about all of the great things that are gonna happen, right? That's natural. What we don't think about is that, when God is bringing you into new spaces, when he's calling you to new things, there's gonna be tests that comes with that. There's gonna be troubles and like tribulations that come with that. I just didn't think it was gonna happen that strong, that quickly. I didn't even get a second to get settled, But it really showed me that like God needed me to depend on him in a new way. Yeah, it really showed me that God was asking me to depend on him in a new way. That the faith that I had up until this point, up until leaving New York, was not the faith that I was gonna need moving to a new city, because I was in a completely new environment. I was gonna surround myself with new people. And if I was asking him to bring me here, it was for a reason, it was for a purpose that required me to be close to him and to not get distracted. And so, though I don't know all the answers as to why he allowed it to happen the way that it did for as long as it did, knowing that I would still have to reap the consequence of it afterward, like the consequences of it, I can't say that God wasn't with me. And I can't say that my faith, I hate even saying it because I'm like, when people ask me, I'm like, yeah, but I don't feel like I had to go through that. Like I would have continued to seek God, but like my faith was literally strengthened. It was, because like I saw what it is to pray for something day in and day out and not get what you want, but know that God is near you. Or to fast for something and feel like God is giving you an answer and telling you to wait. And you're like, I'm doing all of the things. Like, what am I not doing? I'm doing everything that you've asked me to do. And that's the point. So now wait on me, wait on my timing. And I wouldn't have learned that any other way. Like I just wouldn't have. God does things in his time and his ways, and that was my journey and what I had to go through. So I want to say that really like put a damper on my experience for my first year, because by the time I got my account back, it was towards the end of March, which now that I think about it, it makes a year that I've gotten my account back. And the first 6 months in Houston were awful. Like weather was awful, like my account was hacked, I was not in the mood. But then I saw the light at the end of the tunnel and I got my account back. So I was able to start like building a community, getting back on Instagram and like doing Bible study challenges and just all of that. The first 6 months of my move to Houston was awful. It was awful in every way possible. Financially, it was awful. I was very alone. I didn't have my work. I didn't have my community. People would call me. I wouldn't even pick up my phone because I just felt like I was in over my head. Like, how am I gonna get out of this, right? But the one thing I knew I did have was God. And even in the moments when I didn't want to talk to him, because I'm like, I'm going through this and you're letting me go through this. Like, I didn't have anything else. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you, but I also don't have anything else because you're all knowing and you know why this is happening. So like, I guess I gotta be here and I gotta talk to you. And so the reason why I share this is not necessarily because I want to, because frankly, it's very uncomfortable to talk about this because it was hard and it still feels like it was yesterday. But I feel like if I don't talk about it, it was all for nothing. You know what I mean? Because it's not like I didn't get my account back. I got my account back. It's not like I haven't worked with Apple and Garnier and these tech companies and Sam's Club. Like I've been able to work with so many brands after the fact, right? But I still went through this publicly. And so I feel like this is this is my testimony. This is a testament to God's goodness and God's faithfulness. Now I'm still trying to work through how I show up, because I do feel like I was kicked down at a time that was very vulnerable and like pivotal. I was trying to transition into a different space. So it's taken me a little while to figure that out. But what I do know is that like there is a gap in my content, because like I was inactive and then I just came back and I never addressed it. And so I feel like the only proper way to address it is to address what happened and to show how faithful God was in all of it. There'd be times that people would even speak life into me and I would just cry, because I'm like, I don't even want to hear it. You know, like I don't want to hear it. Please, like, it's just, let's just pretend this is not happening, right? But God is good and God is faithful. And so in the next video, I'll tell you how I've been enjoying Houston, because that is now true. There was a moment in time where it wasn't that, but I can get into more of like the move, like the specific stuff. Like, do I like the city? How has it been since I've been like normalizing it? I had to talk about this part because I feel like this is the testimony. This is where God showed up for me. And this is an example of like pushing through in the midst of trials. And even when bad things are happening, God is still there. He still cares. He's still faithful. And sometimes there's just things that we're not going to understand because we are not God. That doesn't change who God is. It just means that we have to seek him on a deeper level, and that our faith has to be elevated to a new level because we're relying on him. And that was my posture the entire time. Like, God, I'm just relying on you. Like I at this point, I don't even know anymore. And I'm one who, you know, likes to have a good handle on what's going on in my life, but like my hands were up in the air. To anyone who might be going through a hard time or just feel like, God, where are you? Why are you letting this happen? I know, not because of what's said in scripture, not because of what people say, but through different things I've been through in my life, with this being the most recent, that even in your hardest moments, God is still there. He is still with you. He hears your prayers. You know, your tears and your requests aren't for nothing. They're not null and void. You know, it's just some things are up to the mystery of God. Some things end up being a testimony that will help another person down the line. You have to remember that your faith is not only about you. It is literally to help bring those around you or those you're connected to closer to God. I apologize. I know this video was probably a little all over the place. I wish I had like scriptures that I could share with you, because I know I had some that I was holding on to, but maybe I'll drop them in the description box. But yeah, if you have any questions or want like a follow-up video specifically on this topic, because this was like something of its own, let me know in the comments. I will let you know how my journey has been in Houston in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.